The creators of BTD6 have a blog where they fill in the lore of the Bloons universe, filling in the mysteries, backstories, and secrets that make the game even better. Now, I make videos covering the lore as it comes out, but it can be hard to find the older videos that I made a while ago. So this is all the lore from 2024 combined into one big video for you to enjoy. Corvus tells us that he wrote his spellbook himself after years of training and practicing the intricacies of spirit magic, but we're not completely sure that we trust him. Speaking of Corvus, many monkeys call his spellbook the Necroblonicom. We know mixing alchemist potions can be very dangerous, but that's exactly what gave us the slime cube. A bit of acidic mixture dip and berserker brew, a dash of unstable concoction, and just a splash of rubber to gold made this guy. Someone asked if the Ray of Doom's ray ever ends, and Ninja Kiwi said that they're pretty sure it bores a hole right through the end too. ETN is very big into fantasy books, with his favorite series being Game of Thrones. No one has discovered a sauce or spice that is too hot for Gwen to handle, though Geraldo is always on the lookout for new items. Because they're all powered by magic, all middle path wizards grow mustaches, not just the male ones. We only see one boss at a time because their egos are too big to allow more than one of them to show up at once. For Halloween, Quincy loves dressing up as famous archers, while Ezili goes as creepy as possible, and Adora loves going all out on amazing costumes. Sada gave Sushi Ben tons of lessons on proper chopping and slicing techniques back when he was first starting out and only had a small sushi kiosk. The Beast Handler gets their special clothing and beast food from Geraldo. Archie won first prize in a spaghetti bridge building competition when he was only 10 years old. Many have tried hunting the legendary glue rat, including Ezili's smudge cat, but none have ever succeeded. Sato loves ice skating. What's better than walking around on mini blades? The Beast Handlers have been bugging Bookworm ETN with non-stop questions about his little dragons. They're in awe of them. Monkeys get tired. Luckily, they're allowed to take breaks whenever they need one. The BMA and Pirate Lord often discuss whether shrinking or sinking is the best way to take down ZOMGs. Gwen's hair is not naturally shaped like a flame. She fashions her hair using special fireproof hair care products from Geraldo's shop. There has been a fair bit of testing, hence the band-aids. The Bloontonium reactor does not damage the environment or animals because the monkeys have developed super clean energy that is only harmful to balloons. Sai read Pat's mind back when they were first discovering their powers, but after seeing what was in there, they decided not to try again. The reason Highwayman Jericho is able to shoot his flintlock pistols so fast without reloading is because he asked the engineers to fashion a repeating flintlock. It was a hard task, and maybe just a bit of wizardly magic went into making these. Hbomb loves the Bloon Solver's dedication to keeping the environment clean and healthy as they clean up the debris after every game. Hbomb even shed a tear the first time he saw this in action. Some heroes have interesting tier lists. Pat has a top 10 list of snuggly blankets, while Striker and Geraldo have a huge tier list of mustache grooming accessories. Geraldo is adamant that Pickle Juice is S tier. No one has ever seen a sniper projectile, but we suspect it's made from a mix of metals refined by alchemists to handle all sorts of balloons depending on the sniper's upgrade. Benjamin breakdances in his free time. Many heroes and monkeys rely on Geraldo's shop to get what they need. Since he's come along, it's been much easier to get the essentials to the front line. Monkeys are very conscious about tidying up after themselves. They pick up as many darts as they can after each battle, and then the specially trained cleanup crew comes along to make sure everything is the same as before they even got there. Geraldo is good friends with everyone. Sometimes monkeys who visit his shop end up there for hours as they can't stop chatting. High finance is incomplete because every time those balloons attack, it sets back construction. Archie is not happy about it, but he understands that monkey safety is top priority. Ezili says Smudgecat has thousands of confirmed pops. When Adora gets complimented, she normally says thank you. I won't sacrifice you today. There are several urban legends in the monkeyverse. The most prominent one was the cave monkey until he was actually discovered. Monkey aces have accidentally dropped normal pineapples instead of exploding ones in the past. They compete in Sushi Ben's monthly cook-off, so it's understandable that they'd have normal pineapples on board. Sada has many students that study below her, but she has the perfect balance between her students, the front lines, and her R&R time. The monkeys are adamant about running a green, non-polluting, recyclable energy production pipeline. You could go for a swim in the local river right next to a manufacturing plant. Snipers come from all over the world with many accents, so there's bound to be one with an Australian accent like the sniper in TF2. Ninja Kiwi has been calling Corvus's spirit companion Spirity Bolly Boy or Slimer. Corvus enjoys a lovely jaunt among the spirits. That's why he spirit walks to new locations instead of normal walking. Monkeyopolis is a gigantic hub for the monkeys to reside in, but there are many cities, towns, and little hamlets all over the world. Speaking of Monkeyopolis, it's where most monkeys head out from, and it's said to be the start of the road. Why did the Bloons help out in testing the new bouncing darts in the new Dart Just Dropped quest? Well, we believe that the Bloons would take any opportunity to swarm the monkeys under the guise of helping. Corvus and Azili are not related, but they do respect each other's beliefs and connections to the magics and spirits. The corn we remove from cornfield is shipped to various manufacturing plants to be turned into food and other helpful products. The reason some towers take longer than others to unlock a Paragon upgrade is because there's so much research that goes into testing and making sure the monkeys are safe. There are many different trials that take place before they figure out the optimal Paragon. Striker Jones knows some magic, but his rocket launcher is much more effective at taking out the balloons. Obin and Corvus are not brothers, even though they look pretty similar. They do bicker like brothers though. Pat Fusty's penguin is definitely up to something. You can't trust a pet in a slick tux and top hat. And the other pets are onto him too. Striker Jones is the best bowler of all the heroes, though he does use concussive shell on the pins. Monklish, the monkey's language, is a fascinating conflux of archaeology, evolutionary biology, and sociology, and it was vocalized before it became a symbolic system. Dirt, bark, and leafy materials were most likely early forms of this, but that's mostly projecting human language origins. We know that extraterrestrials are in the Blooniverse, so they were probably involved. Pat Fusty's New Year's resolution is to make each and every monkey he comes across feel appreciated and loved for all the hard work they do, mostly via hugs. Our magical friends have more spells than the ones we see in battle. Some creative ones include Bouncing Banana, Levitate Grape, and Animate Leaf. In order to get admitted into the Super Monkey or Plasma Monkey fan club, you have to answer a very specific question, and it's a doozy. Are you a fan of the Super Monkey and or Plasma Monkey? Admiral Brickle is the highest ranking monkey we know of in the monkey military. She is in charge of all naval-based recruits, and her mind for strategy goes towards a collective of heroes and specialists that decide how battles are fought. Corvus and his spirit are linked. One without the other would never be whole. The monkeys were happy to see new friends when the Dartling Gunner, Engineer, and Beast Handler joined them on the battlefield. They were also pretty impressed with the new tech and beasts they brought along. Quincy loves playing the Vuvuzela even though he's terrible at it. And when other monkeys hear him playing, they shove banana peels in their ears so they don't have to hear it. Except for Sai, who runs to their drum kit to join in. Geraldo's Killer Bunny is not a paragon, though we've heard that he is related to the Rabbit of Caer Bannog. Specialty buildings are still happily doing their jobs in BTD 5, Bloons Pop, and Bloons Monkey City, and Ninja Kiwi likes that combination of buildings, upgrades, features, and special gear. So here's to hoping we get something like that in BTD 6 someday. Corvus loves books written by Edgar Allan Poe. Each hero has their home built to their specifications. For example, Pat has a blanket vending machine for any time he needs to add one to the pile. The reason fire-themed monkeys, like the Ring of Fire, still freeze on Glacial Trail is because it's too cold for them to use fire effectively. The blizzard makes it tough to start a fire. The Navar can hook bads but not bosses, because bosses are inherently tougher than bads, and the hooks can't hook into them. Superstorm Druids can see camos because they had to keep squinting through their super tornadoes, which trained their eyes to become stronger. The Dungeon Statue is the owner of Dark Castle. Nobody knows how long Highwayman Jericho has been wanted for. Wanted posters just started popping up all around the corral. Some rumors even say that he planted them himself to strike fear into the balloons. Monkey Aces are required to listen to Danger Zone when attending the top Ace Flight School program. The monkeys use their tails for all sorts of activities, like holding extra darts, cups of coffee, or even snacks. Some Bloons might have woken up with the cave monkey when he was freed from the ice, but neither Ninja Kiwi nor the monkeys wanted to disturb them and make it harder to defend. The Banana Central helps research facilities work faster by supplying them with banana crates. Who doesn't work faster with a crate full of bananas by their side? Geraldo has a vast network of shopkeepers that he regularly keeps in contact with, sharing hot tips on the latest cool items. The Monkeyverse has tons of hip-hop music. Quinn Z is pretty popular right now, but nothing beats Dr. Monk E. Sai meditates twice a day, a few hours at a time. They say it's important to meditate often to reach enlightenment and hone their psychic skills. Similar to Spotify, most heroes have Popify playlists that they share with each other, and I've heard that Gwen's is fire. Geraldo is the most likely hero to tease Churchill for loving anime/manga, but he will still try to get Churchill the limited edition models because he's a good friend. Bosses take tons of damage, so they take a long time to recover. Because of this, they organized a rotation between themselves to make sure they're healthy for their next attack. When pets are not side by side with their owners, they're hanging out at the pet daycare playing all day. Brickle has not formally awarded the Nautic Siege Corps with a rank as of yet, but we believe that they'll retain the rank of sub-commander. Gwen has chugged a couple of sodas before, but now the monkeys hide any sugary drinks because they're scared of Gwen getting too energetic. Quincy had never heard of the Gritty before, but now he's practicing it furiously. I'm just hoping that it comes to battles too as a victory celebration. Some monkeys are born super, some achieve super monkey power through training, and some found a used cape in Geraldo's shop. Now they can all blast into the air with superpowers. All glue gunner suits are internally coated with a special powder that changes the sticky glue into a cleansing moisturizer. You can thank some crazy alchemists for that one. Gadgeteer Geraldo's mechanical rabbits are named Rivet, Chew, Crank, and Cogs. Brickle, Pat, the Submarine, and Buccaneer are all very excited for the Mermonkey to come to BTD 6. They can't wait to have more water friends. As for Rosalia, the upcoming jetpack hero, Etienne, Benjamin, and the engineer can't wait for everyone to meet her and check out her new tech. Speaking of Benjamin, he doesn't use a common operating system like Windows. Instead, he built his own original one, saying it's exactly what he wants without all the stuff he doesn't like. Sai has cloudy, glazed over eyes that make it seem like their vision is impaired. But Ninja Kiwi assures us that this isn't the case, at least to not any degree that their inner vision doesn't more than make up for it. Spending that much time in meditation and learning to look inward may have caused physical changes to their iris and pupil. We know that the monkeys are aware of us players, but what about the balloons? Well, if they are aware, they don't seem to care. They only want to get to the end of the track. Having met in the Naval Academy and spending a lot of time together, the captains of the Nautic Siege Corps and Navarch of the Seas consider each other great friends. Now that there's a second water paragon, a slight change has been made to the Navarch of the Seas. The Navarch is the greatest thing that only floats on water, while the Nautic Siege Corps is the greatest thing that floats on and under the water. Admiral Brickle has been on many ships, but she finally decided on her awesome destroyer and named it the Bloon Venge. As for Commander Cassie from Bloons Adventure Time TD, she named her boat the SS000, or SS000. I'm not sure.
Or as I like to call it, the SS.
Gwendolyn was very flattered from the love letter she received from her secret admirer. They've had some private talks and their friendship hasn't changed. The in-universe difference between cash and monkey money is that cash is used on a per-match basis to help funding that particular fight. Monkey money is used as a part of the global monkonomy to keep the world turning. As Sai is still a kid, homework is very important to them. It's a part of their journey towards enlightenment as homework helps expand their knowledge. Pat Fusty keeps getting elected for office, but he always politely declines as he wants to make sure he's doing his part on the front line. Inside the underwater part of the Nautic Siege Corps is a highly advanced command and control room filled with many capable monkeys. I wonder if that's where all the sacrificed monkeys go to. If all the bosses fought each other, it'd be a toss-up for who would win. But Ninja Kiwi said they'd bet on Dreadbloon. I'd take Lich though. When the confetti pop effects explode out of a camo balloon, the monkeys that can't see camos just see a sudden burst of confetti out of nowhere. Adora does not like cats. She likes anything willing to make the ultimate sacrifice, and they aren't up for that. All of Geraldo's store items are in his backpack, so that begs the question, what does his mule carry? Simple. It carries him and all of his cosplay gear. There are no other known threats in the monkeyverse outside of the balloons. At least none that the MIB is willing to share with us. Ben and Jericho are great friends. Although they worked in different departments back in the day, they would always grab lunch together when they were both in the office. The reason we hear heroes speak and not normal monkeys is because normal ones get a bit of stage fright when public speaking. The reason the Nautic Siege Corps doesn't tip over is because it has unparalleled stability in the water due to a series of connected ballast tanks. It needs these because it's so tall. While it may not look like it, the glass uncovered garden is actually quite high. So high that the mortar monkey's shells don't go above or through the glass. Seeing a paragon in public is about as common as seeing a celebrity when you're out and about. The tallest tower in the monkeyverse is said to be the Tower of Babelbloon, built to reach the sky. So far, it hasn't been discovered. Dread Pirate Brickle came across this rumor on her hunt for the balloon pieces of 8. The monkeys have multiple teams for looking into paragons for each tower, but once one team makes a breakthrough, all other teams join in to help it get developed. We would like to think that Benjamin is focused on the balloons when out on the field, but a little bit of Bloon Sweeper never hurt anyone in between the rounds. Speaking of Ben, even though he never does any damage to the balloons, he's not a pacifist. He just doesn't like getting physical. Instead, he prefers to use his brains and skills to help in the best way he can. Besides FaZe, nothing else has come through the Chaos Rift yet. The scientists are watching very carefully while analyzing all the strange readings. No monkeys have tried to enter Chaos Rifts either. All interactions are being closely guarded as they're not ready to risk any monkeys at this stage. The leading theory is that golden balloons are rubber to golded balloons that never got popped. Monkey teams are a way to improve intra-team coordination and cooperation, but they do like to have a little fun with it. The beast handlers are able to use dinosaurs because they aren't extinct in the Blooniverse like they are here. The engineer had a short-lived ghost hunting show, but they gave up after realizing how scary it was. I vote that we get a Ghostbusters themed engineer skin in the future, maybe for Halloween. The heroes have such different tastes in music, but they all agree on one song being great for popping the balloon menace: Bohemian Popsody. The monkeys have yet to find a safe way to land on other planets, but they are hard at work looking for a solution. so currently they have their planet and the moon to work with. The spellcasting monkeys compete for who is the greatest wizard. This is televised on ESPN 8, the Ocho, where they have a competition for everything. In the monkeyverse, magic is so normal that it's just as much a part of life as bananas and dirt. All monkeys love pizza, and plenty of them enjoy pineapple as a topping. Some more exotic toppings, though, are fried banana peel, corn flakes, and edible glitter. I wonder if their poop would sparkle with edible glitter. The MIB used to have plenty of classified documents, but once the Apex Plasma Master was revealed to the Monkeyverse, the MIB released all non-top secret information to the public, only keeping the secrets to the fusion process hidden so the Bloons don't find out. If the Bloons did find out, it'd be called a Bloonagon. We're unsure what a Bloon Paragon would look like, but a pink, camo lead, and black Bloon fusion would likely look like a DDT. If you ask a glue gunner too many questions about the top secret project adhesive, they might stick you with some temporary glue, giving them time to run away. Baby monkeys watch Bloony Tunes every Saturday morning. When asked what it's like using a wall of fire, a wizard monkey responded with this image. Every monkey can contribute to making the cool descriptions for each tower and their upgrades. It's like a big potluck. Everyone brings a plate and sits around coming up with the best descriptions. A new update in BTD 6 feels like a scientific discovery to the monkeys. Once thoroughly tested, new discoveries, technology, and magics are given to the frontline monkeys to aid in their fight. Pat doesn't mind that his pond is always a battleground. He can still relax when the Bloons stop attacking, and he likes being involved whenever there's action. Corvus doesn't like to talk about work in his free time. He'd much rather have a snack or work on his hobbies. That's why most of the information we get on him are speculations from other monkeys. Speaking of Corvus, he has a terrifying Necron army in Warhammer 40k. Reanimated Bloons by the Necromancer or Prince of Darkness don't feel anything, so you don't have to worry about them being mad, sad, or in pain. A small dart monkey becomes a big super monkey when they put on the cape. So when a super monkey removes their cape, it means they go back to their original shape and size. It's not always small though. There has been one banana flavored food that most monkeys agree wasn't a good idea, and it was a banana flavored banana. The test monkeys didn't like the vibe. Too much banana in one peel. All monkeys have their likes and dislikes, but since Geraldo has been on the scene, pickles have become a favorite among most monkeys. The Bloons are always up to something, but currently the MIB is not aware of anything bigger or badder than new boss Bloons being cooked up. Have you ever wondered why super monkeys throw darts instead of boomerangs? We could have saved like 35 grand on a permacharge. Well, super monkeys are always testing out new options, but they're most comfortable with darts as they have excellent speed and precision with them. Churchill loves going to cosplay conventions and showing off his Sentai suit. He's very crafty and enjoys taking photos with all the little monkeys. Dragon Bloon Z is a classic after-school show for the monkeys. Heroes on the hunt for the fabled Dragon Bloons. Engineers all work to make the Blooniverse a better place. They don't like hoarding patents or hiding blueprints as it makes the fight harder. The monkeys are aware of Ninja Kiwi. When interviewed, a monkey said they're, quote, some weird overworldly beings, quite friendly though. They seem to want to help fight the Bloons, so we welcome them with open arms. The VTSG was an accidental discovery. It just happened. Also, some seem to be confused about the VTSG. It's not evil, just vengeful. Ben has every game on Steam, including BTD 6. In it, he loves to build lots and lots of banks. Unlike monkeys, the Bloons don't get promoted to different levels. At least not to our knowledge. After polling the heroes for which hero thinks they're much stronger than they actually are, Quincy got 14 votes and Benjamin got 1. Adora is not a god. She's just very devout in the sun god's ways and loves channeling that energy into the fight against the Bloons. There has been much discussion on why the Bloons are so strict with their paths, but no one is quite sure why they do it. All the monkeys know is that it makes it much easier to set up their defenses when they know exactly where their enemy will be going. Biker Bone's fury is unmatched, outshining even the sun gods in Avatar of Wrath's rage. We know that there's a sun god, meaning it's very possible we'll discover a moon god someday. The beast handler has many more trained animals than the 3 paths you see in battle. Heroes look up to people too. Quincy loves Robin Hood, Gwen looks up to Pyro from TF2, and Pat thinks everyone has something to admire. Sada has been teaching Ben how to get better at Beat Saber. It's a part of his journey to get great at every game. Archie doesn't help build infrastructure on harder maps because his hands are full adding cool new features and props in the map editor. Ben is always trying to get his hands on classified documents from the MIB. This isn't treason though, it's just genuine curiosity. Specialized training is extremely time consuming, and the trainers at HQ boiled it down to the most helpful archetypes to win the war. That's why the monkeys are limited to their 3 paths. Beast handlers keep their creatures free range. It's great for their health. We're not really sure what happens to monkeys when they disappear to paragons, temples, or abilities. Translating sacrifice from Old Monklish might not be entirely accurate either. We know there are parallel dimensions and universe hopping from Bloons Adventure Time TD, so it could be that there is nothing to mourn, just monkeys to miss until they come back. For now though, the monkeys celebrate in their honor when others get sacrificed. It may seem weird that the number of pops affects a Paragon's power, but it's the experience that the sacrifice monkeys have that makes this happen. Most engineers went to MIT, the Monkey Institute of Technology. It's a world-class school, and plenty of these monkeys go on to change the Blooniverse with their innovation and drive. Archie visits battlefields after the battle takes place. He's more of a creative type than a fighter, though he can certainly handle himself if the situation arises. Some mob glue monkeys keep on their suits even when they're not using their glue guns. They're trying to make full cover suits the next hot fashion item. Quincy started out as a dart monkey. He just never missed, so he got extra training and eventually became a hero. Do balloons have hearts, and can they feel love? Well, we've all seen a regrow red, and you can't get much more heart than that. But as for emotions, the balloons tend to feel a bit deflated. The skiers on Alpine Run are skiing on the other side of the mountain. They avoid this side as it's a combat zone. We've never seen balloons having pets, but this could be because they travel so much. When it comes to Minecraft, Benjamin is an absolute whiz at redstone, Adora can make stunning natural-like terrain, and Pat Fusty is the leading PvP Minecrafter of the heroes. Quincy loves picking up sweet treats so he can slip them to his secret crush. There are heaps of weird food combinations that the monkeys have come up with. Banana, blueberries, milk chocolate, white chocolate, and custard is a favorite though. The MIB has a working theory that the dark portal on Midnight Mansion was caused by a portal system test being done by the balloons. We think the precursor of transforming tonic was discovered by an alchemist accidentally giving a monkey an unstable concoction potion instead of a berserker brew. The MIB just ended the debate for which came first. The egg was laid by a creature that was not a chicken. Banana farms don't grow faster when placed by water because overhydrating can cause problems with crop yield. Dartling gunners experience little to no recoil when firing their guns because engineers included some high-tech inertia dampening. That, and they have really strong forearms. The ball frog pet is a literal demon. It's good to know that at least some demons are on the monkey's side. The Prince of Darkness's skull is probably a mask. Hopefully. Otherwise, that's really scary. Balloons don't send out bosses in regular games because they're kind of like generals. Bosses prefer not to join in random skirmishes, but instead plan out larger attacks. Bookworm Etienne's outfit is the coziest of all monkeys. Pat has been itching to get his hands on a blanket like that. The reason monkeys could shoot through buildings in BTD 5 and not 6 is because Archie revamped the building's codes and regulations. The reaction to this by the monkeys was 50% aw dang and 50% yay safer building. Gwen has been known to under-exaggerate the size of certain fires that popped up out of nowhere. A large bonfire would be called small by Gwendolyn. Bloonarius' slime won't be coming to his actual boss event because Ninja Kiwi feels like Bloonarius is a perfect introductory boss because he's so simple. It doesn't mean they won't find more uses for it though if people are having fun with it. When asked about being caught up in the action but not attacking, the banana farmer said farming is the most healthful, most useful, and most noble employment of any monkey. The in-universe explanation for when monkeys upgrade is practice, dedication, and learning new talents and skills with new tools. The most awkward moment heroes ever have is when they get their chance on the field and don't pop any balloons. Nothing is worse than that. All the ingredients in the glue gunner's glue is sustainably farmed, although tons of tech and research went into finding the exact synthesization process to get it right. The local milkshake bar is a favorite place for monkeys to decompress after battle. There are so many flavors, it's hard to not have a great time there. You can even ask for the Fusty Special, which we think is just all the flavored syrups mixed together in a big cup with no milk. Being the gamer that he is, Ben asked the alchemist to brew up a special energy drink concoction just for him. Gwen tried this gamer fuel once. She said she felt like energy drink Hammy from Over the Hedge. As far as we can tell, ceramics have a special coating that keeps them at a reasonable temperature. This keeps them comfortable when they're under so many layers like when they're inside a bad. Sushi is Brickle's favorite seafood. Unless you're on his good side, the glue rat should scare you. Other than the balloon war, the monkey society has been thriving for generations. The reason behind the modifiers on boss events are that bosses are trying new strategies to beat the balloons, while monkeys are practicing limited supplies and options for those dire moments when it'll come in clutch. Archmages tend to dip their toes in all schools of magic. That's why they have Dragon's Breath and Shimmer. There is a monkey space program. The brave monstronauts of the Monkey Outer Orbit Navigation Service are training and working hard to discover new planets and galaxies. Pat always gives out hugs to those that want them, and Sai is always pestering him for more. To the monkeys, different targeting priorities feel like they're aiming at the best spot to assure victory. Make sure you're on the right targeting priority, otherwise they might get upset. Before the balloons, the monkeys lived in a peaceful world with no battles. Though, the monkeys quickly adapted and figured out how to thrive while also keeping the Bloons at bay. Ezili has seen the inside of Corvus's spellbook. He's happy to show off his incantations to a fellow practitioner as long as the book lets him. Monkeys love the different styles and strategies each hero brings to the table. They keep it fresh. While fighting the Bloons is Pat's primary job, he's also an expert turkey hand painter and loves to volunteer when he can. The only time the monkeys get shooketh is when they see the legendary Regrow camo fortified red balloon. Rosalia is thrilled that the Bloons are invading Tinkerton. In fact, she's the one that lured them there so she could test out new gadgets. Have you ever wondered if each boss is one of a kind, or if there are multiple different liches, Bloonariuses, and vortexes behind the scenes? Well, Dr. Monkey is still studying the mind-warping effects that FaZe has shown, so we can't really be certain. Are the boss Bloons from another dimension? Are there other realities where they come from? Or are they all just here? We don't know. Pat has been in talks with Monkeywood about making a Kaiju Pat movie, but no one has given it the green light yet. Firing the Elite Defender's rifle is like trying to hold a big fish that's wriggling and trying to get away. Hbomb is one of the few monkeys that have seen and visited Monklantis. He was crucial in recruiting the mermonkeys to join the fight. Ben has been dying to pop the hood of Churchill's tanks and mess around with some upgrades. Eventually, Churchill might be convinced, but until then, they enjoy going into battle and hanging out with each other. Contrary to popular belief, Brickle's hair is completely natural. She thought about dyeing it seafoam green at one point, but she decided against it. Pat is an absolute menace on the croquet pitch, unbeaten amongst the heroes to this day. While the hero trials for us are the quests that teach players the most effective way to use them, they are the peak of each hero's training. Speaking of the trials, many monkeys have tried and not quite made it through. This isn't a failure though, they just specialize in a different way afterward. How these trials came to be is a mystery, but these days Corvus seems to be the official record keeper. When not trying to reach the exit, the Moab bee likes to float around and search for pretty flowers. This might bug the other Bloons, but then it acts all sweet and innocent like honey. Etienne and Rosalia get along great, especially when you get them together to build something. If the heroes were to teach classes at the Monkey Academy, here's what they'd teach. Brickle would do Sea Shanties 101, Sada would do dual wielding AP class, Geraldo would be turning trash to treasure for extra credit, and Captain Churchill would do driver's ed, though it's hard to fail when you drive a tank. The monkeys learn new skills so fast after being upgraded because they got a lot of training before being deployed to the battlefield. So when it comes time to upgrade, they have their basic training to rely on. Have you ever wondered why most monkey things are named after the Bloons, like Bloonville, Bloonionaire, and Blooniverse? Well, it's all a clever ploy to confuse the Bloons. Who knows? Maybe things would be a lot worse without these names. The heroes have been working with Rosalia for quite some time before she became a hero. This was to make sure they all vibe, and now she's a part of the crew. Rosalia's orange liquid is a unique blend that she helps bring to a stable level. It can be quite splashy and explosive if not treated with care. We can't quite tell whether Oben is using his druidic power to pass on camo sight to other druids rather than himself, or if he's just ignoring the camos to make other monkeys look good. Most monkeys in the Blooniverse know some sign language. Apart from helping with the hearing impaired monkeys, they also like to use it in battle when the noise of war could drown out even the loudest of Pat bellows. The MIB has been referred to as more than just the Monkey Intelligence Bureau. Some others are the Monkeys in Black and the Ministry of Intelligent Bananas. Rosalia always has her jetpack on her in case a cat gets stuck in a tree or some other emergency, but she does enjoy having her feet on the ground sometimes. Lots of Gorilla Glue is used to keep the top path mortar together, and its shells are radioactive. They're just not harmful to monkeys or the environment, so basically just the Bloons. There has never been a monkey v monkey war before. Leftover money from the battles gets spread out amongst the many support programs in the Blooniverse. Just last week, Sai helped get some funding for some new instruments for the local marching band. Some monkeys have a rivalry with certain Bloons. Like Striker was so frustrated with Black Bloons that he developed a special technique just to get past that hurdle. When Geraldo is not fighting or searching for more diverse and interesting products, he enjoys a good game of solitaire. Geraldo loves card games. Al, the engineer, has the last copy of the Bloon Shipper blueprints locked away in a secret location. Hopefully he'll share it with us one day. Lich is the most hated Bloon of all. The monkeys work so hard building up all those buffs, and Lich just takes them all and looks mighty healthy all of a sudden. Rosalia used to work with the engineers, but she was a clear standout in innovation and skill, and she advanced to hero training and got her own lab. Etienne helped a ton with the drones Rosalia uses for her orange production at Tinkerton. The Bloons are invading the moon because without it, the monkeys would lose tons of important things on Earth, like time, tides, and light. The Bloons never make demands, never relent, and it's unclear what their actual goal is. Given that, one could conjecture that it's nothing short of trans-dimensional multiversal domination. We finally have some data on the Goliath Doom ship. Its weight, chonky. Its height, towering. Length, stretched. Width, vast. And speed, steady. We've seen the Bloons stunned, frozen, and distracted, but never sleeping. That means the monkeys have just never seen it, or that it never happens. Rosalia has been playing Pokemon as long as she can remember, and her favorites are the orange ones. No heroes have ever gone rogue. Corvus, Ezili, and even Adora sometimes skirt the boundaries of monkey civilization, but like all great anti-heroes, the goodness in their hearts always shines through. There was an experiment to use bananas as currency once, but it was doomed to fail from the start. To say the economy was consumed rapidly would be an understatement. There aren't any universes where the Bloons are good and the monkeys are evil. There might be some grayish ones out there, but monkeys are never evil. Churchill has some anime theme songs that he listens on repeat for hours on end. The Great British Bake Off is the #1 spot on transdimensional television at the moment. Gwen loves all types of candy, though the other heroes tend to hide them from her. The Moab Assassin's ability only needed to target the strongest thing for a long time, but after years of improvements to Moab mauling technology, many more possibilities have opened up for their use, so following the targeting priority has become more important. Have you ever thought about how Geraldo is able to restock his shop during battle? Well, just look at his glorious coat and well-tended pack animals, and almost surely a pouch or two with pocket dimensions in them. We think he is stocked for days, but he's careful with supply and demand, as scarcity is a key component of value. One time, Bloons snuck into a birthday party with a batch of balloons, but they were thwarted by a luckily timed cake throw. When the Bloon War is over, the monkeys plan on lots of rest, relaxation, really big bananas, and relief. The Oompa Loompa monkey's boss is the Great Millie Monka, world-renowned chocolatier and one of Gwen's favorite monkeys in the entire Blooniverse. Heroes have talked back a few times when players repeatedly annoy them, but the monkeys seem incredibly zen overall and don't hold any grudges against us. The monkey hierarchy is unclear. They've always been very community-focused in their decisions and social structures. We've interpreted monkish words to mean things like mayor, general, and doctor, words that imply civil and professional hierarchies, though evidence shows that monkeys of all types, roles, ages, genders, and other distinctions all working together in incredibly powerful and mutually supportive ways. Beast handlers and their animals don't drink elk potions because of their 100% natural gluten-free cave monkey diet. After battle, villages and banana farms get packed back up and re-kitted to be used again. The mortar monkey is not upset at all at being one of the least used monkeys. They're extremely humble and are happy to be called upon or not as required. The monkey inside the tack shooter can see the Bloons because a lot of awesome tech goes into the tack shooter, including 360-degree panoramic screens to see what's outside. That, and they have small windows for backup. There are many more sword monkeys other than Sada. In fact, there are sword, axe, spear, trident, and many more monkey types out there. Bloontonium is harvested by science monkeys for research. They insist it's harmless, but they still wear full biosuits when dealing with it. The record states that monkeys have never come across an orange balloon. As monkeys learn the secret powers of super monkeydom, they speak the magic word kablam and are infused with all the powers that being a super monkey grants, including a bigger body to contain all that power. If heroes were to be in the Olympics, here's what they'd compete in. Striker would be in shooting, Pat wrestling, Brickle sailing, Sada fencing, and Quincy would play volleyball. As for the sports exclusive to the Monkey Olympics, there's dart and boomerang throwing, deep sea diving, and a banana collection relay race. Not all boomerang monkeys are born ambidextrous. They all train vigorously to swap between hands and still be just as effective. Do you know how much fun it is to throw boomerangs with both hands?
Not at all.
I don't.
Then why would you say it like you do?
First year cadets at Pop School are given non-effective retrievable darts to train with. Nerd is the monkeyverse equivalent of Nerf. The tier 5 mermonkey Popseidon is not the actual god. Instead, they channel the power of Popseidon similar to the top path super monkey. Speaking of gods, mermonkeys respect the sun god. Every monkey is accepting and open to other faiths and philosophies. Legend has it that the Spike Factory was accidentally invented as a part of a tack shooter jam. It quickly advanced into a standalone tower with its own R&D department. There have been rumors and myths around Monklantis for a long time, so when Ocean Oben mentioned that he might be able to make contact, there was a collective gasp from all the water monkeys. It was a little rough with them at first, but Ocean Oben soothed the waves for an excellent quick-forming friendship. We've never heard the monkeys speak Monklish, only read and write it, though Ninja Kiwi imagines it would be quite elegant and vocally charming. Brickle and Churchill have the utmost respect for each other. Both coming up through the military forges excellent bonds and long-lasting friendships. Archie has a whole battalion of non-combat engineers that help with obstacles on maps. He helps train and task with repairs, demolition, construction, and maintenance. It's been said that monkeys can change positions if they want, but can mermonkeys change roles too? Well, they're still very new and trying to figure out their own place. Once they've been around a while, Monk Society will find out ways to let them get involved in any roles they want. Ben wrote Cyber Quincy's firewall himself, so there's no way anyone can hack into his system. Ezili's favorite shape is a rhombicosi dodecahedron. Whatever that is. Rosalia makes all of her gadgets with things she finds lying around. She doesn't get any funding, so it's all a little janky, hence why her gun looks so small in her hand. For card games, Bloons Card Storm is all the monkeys are talking about, but Bluno is still a staple at monkey game night. Rosalia loves playing Titanfall. She b-hops so fast that no-scoping her is impossible. Monkeys keep attacking Bloons that are immune to their attacks out of hope, optimism, and the possibility of quantum-level matter conversion happening at the precise moment of impact. Merkel, Encrypted Secret Tower, was very grumpy about being woken up. So much so that they left to find a new place to sleep. What's left behind is just a lingering remnant of their power. Bosses don't like fighting on Monkey Meadow or logs, as the monkeys always seem to have an easier time winning there. Geraldo's never been scammed. Some suppliers have tried to charge Geraldo way too much for stock, but in the end, after a good chat, Geraldo has convinced them all to be more honest and helpful. Sai can use their psychic abilities to read books without opening the pages, but they prefer to get the full experience. There's a unique magic to turning the feathery pages of a new book. Adora has some secret information about the Super Monkey Paragon, but she's keeping pretty hush-hush about it. We think the temple is the epitome of Super Monkey power. Corvus can't help but hunt ancient magic and has uncovered some unnatural things no monkey should ever see. But he seems to enjoy it. We think. Mermonkeys love fried kelp cakes, and there's an amazing burger restaurant at the bottom of the sea. Mermonkeys can walk on land even though they only have a fish tail. It took them a while to learn how, but Pat was happy to help since he's used to swapping between water and land too. The funny thing is, they sound like ducks waddling on hardwood floors. Mermonkeys are very happy about Top Path beast handlers taming sea life. They see how much love and care beast handlers give to their companions. We're pretty sure the Bloons are keeping secrets that not even the MIB knows about. Each and every tower is either a monkey or has a monkey inside it. That includes tack shooters, bomb shooters, and even spike factories. As for banana farms, they have a monkey either doing the production or managing the marketplace. That's why you can hire extra farmers to collect all those bananas. The first Quincy invented archery. They were out hunting when they couldn't get close enough to strike a final blow, and they eventually came up with a device that would fling a stick farther and faster than anyone could throw. A beast handler tried to tame a mermonkey when they first met, not knowing what it was. It was a bit awkward, but now they work together to train aquatic creatures. They make a great team. Some heroes are surprisingly funny. Ben is great with pop culture references that are always on point. Ezelia has dropped some hilarious one-liners, and Sada's humor is wonderfully cutting. Have you ever wondered what's actually happening for collection events in-universe? Well, it's a variation of a treasure hunt / rewards for excellent performance against specific targets. Every boss seems to be happy but cautious about Blastopopulus' return. He's a bit of a hothead and can blow up at any moment. Ezelia and Gwen get along great. They don't have a huge amount of overlapping hobbies, but they both enjoy a great horror movie and they get together every Halloween to carve pumpkins. Per Dr. Monkey, the insides of villages change with every upgrade. It's not just the outside that changes. Admiral Brickle is the highest ranking military monkey around. The Siege Corps and Navarks have the utmost respect for their commander. It does make me think about why naval tactics doesn't buff them though. Maybe they've studied so much that they know all these tactics as well. Striker Jones' dog is called Lieutenant Dig. He's a very good boy who loves pets. When the monkeys fuse to make a paragon, they take on a new personality and are a brand new monkey. Corvus surely has some inside information about the legendary spirit Merkel. Whether they have met, we don't know, but it looks to me like they might share some spirit world connection. On the map Castle Revenge, flying monkeys, like aces and heli pilots, stay in place above the map by making constant adjustments. Honestly, it's pretty impressive that you can't even tell the difference between this map and stationary ones. Monkeys are able to bear Blastopopulus' incredible heat because of all their training they did at the Sweat Lodge. This, plus ice monkeys, are great at keeping everyone cool. There are stories of mermonkeys who have ridden bigger fish, but no one has ever attempted riding the megalodon like a bull. It's a touch too wild for that. Amelia has been known to put on a few performances showcasing her latest tricks to the other heroes at group talent night. Benjamin is self-employed, making money when he's not on the battlefield helping other monkeys. Even though everyone buys stuff from Geraldo, he is not the richest monkey in the world in terms of money. But the absolute wealth of new friends, experiences, and knowledge could put him at the top of the rich list. Pat met his pet pig when he was out hunting for truffles. It was like best friends at first sight. They like taking long naps and making blanket forts together. The Super Monkey suits are made of a hidden blend of fabric that makes them almost invincible to all forms of damage. The designer of these, Edna Monk, is pulling her hair out at the Super Monkeys refusing to remove the capes from this outfit. The Super Monkeys insist the capes make them fly faster, and they really like the sound of the capes flapping about when they fly. The different colored fur of druids and ice monkeys naturally comes about by being a part of magic and elements. They end up adapting to their environments as they spend a lot of time surrounded by ice and nature. Adora has multiple temples spread around that she will visit from time to time to make sure everything is in order. Each of them has a small apartment that she can stay in while there. Unfortunately, there have been a few awkward moments where she was sleeping when a Bloon attack happened. You have not seen Wrath until you've seen Adora woken up by Bloons. Few monkeys have ever been able to get close enough to Blastopopulus to be able to measure his temperature, but those that have told us that he gets to at least 5,000 degrees Celsius. Speaking of Blast, ice monkeys infuriate him. His fiery temper builds and builds ever higher as he tries to melt those pesky ice cubes. Pat Fusty is a menace when it comes to photos. He photobombs everyone, trying to get into every photo he can. If Sada couldn't pick swords and had to pick another hero's weapons, she'd likely pick Pat Fusty's slap. The heroes have lots of non-hero friends. For example, Gwen loves hanging out with the culinary-oriented alchemists. Gentle Monkey, Gadgeteer, Geraldo, and Rosalia love tinkering, fixing, and making all sorts of things together. It's great to have another creative person to bounce ideas off of. Aquatic beach handlers refuse the help of naval tactics and the carrier flagship because their sea creatures can only choose so fast. Quincy makes sure to swap sides when firing his bow to make sure each side gets a workout. That way, one side doesn't get stronger than the other. The monkeys have tried to fuse several paragons into one ultimate being, but it did not go well. It doesn't stop them from trying every now and then though. We're only allowed one of each tier 5 because they're so powerful only one can show up at a time. Except for those sneaky crossbow masters. They're keeping tight-lipped about their powerful secrets. There is construction-based magic in the Monkeyverse. Whether it be Drywall of Fire or Arcane Sight Warden, our favorite spellcasters are a whiz at anything construction-related. FaZe has special adaptive camouflage. Once revealed, they can just reconfigure their tangibility and regain a level of camo. William Taxpier wrote the Monkeyverse version of Hamlet. We've seen a super monkey lift a school bus in each hand, but they like to keep their competitions where they show their true strength private. Ice monkeys don't melt on Sulphur Springs, Infernal, or when fighting Blastopopulus by using some of their ice powers to keep at a reasonable temperature. Because FaZe is a reality warper, they could theoretically go to other video games. In fact, there's a chance they already have. There are so few monkeys that have freezing attacks because it takes a lot of skill and training to be an ice monkey. So much specialized training means it's difficult to adapt freezing powers to other combat tactics. In fact, wizards do study a little bit of cryomancy, but to become truly adept and masterful requires full dedication to their studies and training, eventually becoming ice monkeys. Sada has so many bladed weapons you could consider her place in armory, all sorts of weapons from different cultures and time periods. She even has a replica of Norimitsu Odachi. These special Bloons from Bloons card Storm are very much a part of the Blooniverse. When asked what their favorite Pokeball was, the Beast Handler said they prefer to let their creatures roam free, like Ash's Pikachu. Personally, I've always been a fan of the original Pokeball, to the point where I would go out of my way to catch every Pokemon with it, including legendaries, and it would be especially if I planned on breeding them. The MIB has a dedicated team set up to receive any communication from the boss Bloons. As of yet, they have not deciphered any words. Sai has tried to get other heroes into meditation. Pat gave it a good go once, but he kinda dozed off. He said he felt great afterwards though. But that was 55 pieces of Bloons lore. If you want a bunch more, click this video right here.